Thank you, Harold. Under your tradition, I'm going to start out with a little joke. There were three brothers, and this is Jimmy Mack's joke. This is Pete, Repeat, and Doodah. And these guys, Repeat, that was his name because he stuttered a lot when he got excited. But it's funny, the people that do that and study a little bit, they could sing. They could sing real clear, they didn't study. So this day, the three brothers went to the swimming hole. And Doodah, he was a little guy, a daredevil. He would try anything. So they went swimming, and Repeat kept telling Doodah, you know you can't swim. You don't need to get in that water. You're going to get drowned. So Doodah, being himself, he got in it anyway. Got in there, sure enough, Doodah drowned. So now Repeat, he running home. He excited to go tell his mom what happened. Oh, he run, boy. Oh, man, he got home, and he told his mom, pointing at the swimming hole. She said, what you talking about? What's wrong with you? She said, well, sing it. He said, just who went and drowned today, Doodah, Doodah. I'm going to be short because we got a lot of speakers, but I want to touch on some things that John Nardi said yesterday. Excuse me, John, pronouncing your name. And I want to talk particular to the South Atlantic delegation because that's who I'm more familiar with. We talked about the 90% and the 10%. You 90% know who the 10% are. This business is run off of costs. So I need for you 90% to go back home, and you know who you are. You know and I know who the 10% is. I have the privilege to serve on several boards in the ILA. I investigate grievances in the maintenance department, as well as sexual harassment. We have our Dock and Marine Council every quarter in Atlanta, and my co-partner, Jimmy Gray from Jacksonville, we hear the grievances. But I like the relationship that we got. As soon as Jim get to town, he called me. We go to the bar, have a couple of beers, talk about things, which is good, because we even talked about that yesterday, about building the relationship with the Port Authority as well as the employers. But anyway, so I'm on other several boards, but I'm saying this to say, you 90%, you know I know you. You can't bring me no sugar, honey, and iced tea because you know I know how to ask the right questions, and I do. And, that 10%, Alan mentioned it, it's the same ones in every port that we always have to solicit our employers to give him or her another break, and it's bad. So I need for you to go home, you 90%, and protect your job. You need to go home and say to that 10%, you need to come up. You need to come up or get out, just like Harold said, because it makes no sense for you to let this industry go down. It makes no sense. Now you know who they are, like I said, back when I started in the 60s, late 60s, just before the containers, everything was break bulk. We worked in the hole, 4 men on each side, depends on the cargo, and we had some 10% back then too, but we made them come to work when they came at our games. But let me tell you what some of them used to do. We had guys that his job was to sing in the hole all day. Somebody might say, hit a tune, Reb. He'd go to singing. You got another guy, he tell jokes all day, but he wasn't doing any work. He was just coming to tell jokes. He had jokes from the night before, so he could duck work. But that's the kind of people that we got on the waterfront to do these kind of things. Something else I want to touch on you. We talked about automation. How are we going to combat automation? With good labor. Good labor. Harold said do 30 boxes or more. Give me that water, please. We're already doing 40 plus in the South Atlantic, you know. But the most important thing about that cost thing, and we having problems with it, you know it and I know it, is guys taking jobs and won't stay on the job. You go do 4 hours and you leave. You know, you got the statistics yesterday about Myla. You, 90%, need to get on that 10 so we can protect Myla. Myla is a cost thing. You know, when the lines go out, our contractors go out and bid for cargo and that kind of stuff, it's about cost. We as a union should be willing to help them keep their costs down, not run them out of business. When they're out of business, we're going to be out of business. So we need to protect those jobs and make sure that we get another contract as good as this one. Now, the relationship with the port authorities is very important, especially in the South, where you've got the right to work states. A long time ago, we didn't have that relationship. You know, I give you an example right in the port of North Carolina, Wilmington. We had, because of President there, Greg Washington, we had Crowley, everybody know Crowley, big operation, non-union guy, but he started operating in the port of Wilmington. And when he came there, the port director, Paul Cozy, told him you need to get with the ILA. And thanks to him, we got that business. And it's building, and it's a good business, you know, but that's the thing we got to do. We got a relationship with Paul and Dave Adams like we never had before. Going to dinner with them and their wives and all that kind of stuff. This is what it's about. It's a partnership, you know? And if you protect this thing, 90%, if you protect it, it's going to protect you and your families. And that's what you need to do, and I'm counting on you. We're going to run that 10% off the waterfront if they don't want to come up. Are you with me? All right, let's do that. Thank you very much.